I was trying to send rectify this. He texted me. All right, man, I'm gonna get right into it. Man, if y'all missed yesterday, it was really, 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 really good. Yesterday, the title, and again, I gotta thank JB. We talked a few months ago about that. He was like, man, when you bring in those words, some of them you can expound on, and you can make it a part 2 and 3 and 4, and make it a whole series. And you know how we always say the Bible's better than Netflix, which is the name of my book whenever it comes out, because these stories in the Bible be better than Netflix series. And so, man, yesterday the title is "What Makes You Weak," right? Right? If you wasn't here yesterday, or if you here right now, you could do it again. It's rhetorical. Type it in the chat. What makes you weak? Right? Right? I used the example yesterday. Lemon pepper wings make me weak. That's my weakness, right? In football, especially during football season, right? So what makes you weak? Some people said, I think somebody said acceptance and procrastinate. Like there's a lot of different things that make us weak. And so we was talking about it. Let me just go back through it for my people who actually missed yesterday. We talked about Superman, right? With all the power that he got, kryptonite made him weak. Yes, yes, right? Um, attention, love, lust makes some people weak. What up, Melanie? Right? Alcohol, right? A lot of things. What makes you weak? And the crazy part is, even if you don't put it, Paul Wally, LeVar, even if you don't put it or say it out loud, you think it. Some of us are real life ashamed of what makes us weak, right? We accept what makes us weak. Sometimes we don't even want to change it, right? We be like, man, and I used the example yesterday. You know, Tupac had a song say, "You're a sucker for love," right? Nelly had a song that said, "I'm a sucker for cornrows and manicure toes," right? Right. So, what makes you weak, right? So I was saying the Bible's better than Netflix. This is yesterday. This is all yesterday. We talked about your dominant hand, your right hand versus your left hand. If you ever hurt your dominant hand, you have to learn to eat and write with the other one, and then you mess around and get good at it, right? And then you get so good at it when the original hand heals, you got to go back to 314. I don't know what 314 is. I don't know what 314. Color me bad. I'm gonna sex you up, Riri. All right, let me stay on task, right? So your normal hand gets back healthy. Okay, St. Louis. Oh, that's what you were saying because I said Nelly. Uh, you have to go back to using your normal hand. The hand you've been working on goes back to being not so good. So I was saying, man, if you don't use it, you will lose it. And so we got to the Bible. We got to the Bible for episode 1, and I said this, man. I said the story is wild right out the gate. The story is really wild right at the rolling of the credits. This Bible story is wild, right? So we called it episode 1, and we was talking about Samson. Adrian, you hear? Inez, you hear? Do me a favor again. Drop Judges 14, verse 14, 5 and 6. Right? Bible's better than Netflix. Judges chapter 14, verses 5 and 6. Samson, for my people that went to vacation Bible school, he was the strongest person in the Bible. We know the story of Samson. Boy had dreads, right? Right. We all know the story. Met this bad chick named Delilah, right? She cut his hair. He lost his strength, right? Right. Um, and so he was so strong in the Bible. If you drop that scripture on there, before we even get into the story, that in Judges chapter 14, verses 5 and 6, he killed a lion with his bare hands. That's how strong that boy was, right? Right? We all talk about lions, right? That's what Judges 14, 5 and 6 says, right? But then we talked about his one weakness. And then I said, man, as we listening to this, don't think relationship for everything. Don't think lust for everything. Yeah, that could be a weakness for sure, right? But what's your weakness, right? For him, it was Delilah. It was the women. For him, right? For you, it could be attention. For you, it could be weed. It could be alcohol. It could be whatever your weakness is, right? What's your weakness, right? All right. So we was talking about that, and I said, what area in your life, right, Yaku? George, what area, Perry, in your life do you currently dominate? Where do you dominate, LeVar? And then where you weak at, right? And then that's when I was thinking, I said, man, you can only be as strong as you are weak, right? We can talk about all the areas that we good, right? But what areas you only as strong as you are weak, right? Because that weakness will break you, right? And so the Philistines, Facebook for me. Facebook is your weakness. You know, let me say this before I even jump on that. When people actually say they weakness, if that ain't your weakness, don't downplay it. That's they mountain, right? For you, Nacio, it might be Facebook, and that's nothing for me, right? But wings is my thing, and somebody be like, Marcus, you on that? That gets you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mountain, right? Right. And I wrote this: the Philistines, they actually knew they could not overtake him, so they went to his biggest weakness, which was the women, right? Here's what's crazy about Delilah. Episode 1 is insane. Episode 1 is insane. Let's just read right through it. Judges chapter 16, Adrian, Inez, verses 15 through 22. I'm gonna read it again, and then we'll get into episode 2. This is just a replay. You know how, like, at the beginning, when you watching Netflix, if you jump in, they'll be like, on the last episode. Yes, right. So on the last episode of What's Your Weakness, Judges chapter 16, verses 15 through 22, Bible says this. Let me just put it right here. Then she said to him, this is Delilah talking, how can you say you love me? Y'all, this is the Bible. I promise it's the Bible. If you ain't gonna read it yesterday, it would trip you out that the Bible talk like this. I'm in the NIV version, by the way, right? Previously on, yep, you're right, Adrian, right? Previously on episode 1, Judges chapter 16, verses 15 through 22. 15. Then she said to him, how can you say, I wish I could get a woman to get in her reading in her voice. How can you say I love you when you don't confide in me? She said, Samson, boy, this is the 3rd time you made a fool out of me and haven't told me your secret or what makes you strong. This is her talking. Verse 16 is really narrative, and I can hear a voiceover saying this. With such a nagging voice, she prodded him day after day after day after day until he was sick and tired of her asking. He don't say it like that, but that's what it's like. With such a nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. Verse 17. So he told her everything. He told her everything. No razor had ever been in my head because of I'm a Nazarite or Nazareth, right? Dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head was shaved, my strength would leave me and I would become as weak as any other man, right? Verse 18, when Delilah saw that he told her everything, she went to her rulers. She turned her back and went right to the Philistines, right? Came back to them and said, hey, y'all, he told me everything. So give me my 12. No, I think it was, I don't know how much it was. Give me my silver. I think it was 12, right? So she put him to sleep. she put him to sleep, right? His Bible. When he fell asleep, she cut off 7 locks from the boy's head. 7. Whack, gone, right? Then she yelled. Y'all ever try to scare somebody and wake up. The trash man outside. Matter of fact, that's our story this morning at the house. Here come the trash can, wake up, right? So she woke him up and said, yo, the Philistines are coming, right? Right? He woke up out of his sleep and thought, look, they tied him up. I'm sorry, they tied him up. He said, man, I'll just go before him, shake myself free like I did the other times. But he did not know, verse 20 is where it gets deep, that the Lord had left him, right? The Philistines then seized him, gouged out his eyes, took him to Gaza, binding him with bronze shackles. They set him to a grinding grain inside the prison. But soon, verse 22, the hair on his head began to grow again and he became strong. And then I wrote this, here's the reality in our life. You can compare that story to yours any kind of way. This for anybody that don't think God, that think God always forgives people and people take God's grace for granted. You can literally be living your life a certain way and not know that God he ain't for you in this category. That grace ain't there, right? So I put the reason why, my first point, the reason why we are weak, Kat, Curtis, DK, the reason why we weak is because we are in our feelings, right? Right? Sometimes we make emotional decisions that kind of cloud our discernment. Yes, right? Right? He knew, and this part I ain't read, but this is the part that was in the previews of this. Delilah asked him 3 different times what make him weak. and he told her 3 different lies because he didn't trust her in the beginning. She was just fine. That's all. He didn't trust her in the beginning. He told her 3 different lies. And every time he told her a lie, she ran back and told the Philistines. They tried to tie him up. They tried to get him. But the fact that it was a lie, he broke free, killed all of them. Did it 3 different times. He got tired of her asking. So on the 4th time he told her, boom, now they shaved his head. They got him, right? Got him, y'all. Write that in the chat. Got him, right? So when he knew he was no good, she pulled on his emotion, right? So scrolling down the end chapter or verse or episode 1, a lot of times we'll pick emotion over truth, right? Right? And I pulled up Proverbs 3, right? Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. Get out your feelings, translation, right? Then I said this to wrap it all up. Sometimes you got to say it is what it is, right? When you look outside, what you see is what you see. When you look at a person and they a liar, they a liar. If they a thief, yo, they a thief. Now, people can change, right? If you are uncomfortable, yo, you uncomfortable. Get out your feelings, right? Right? If God said, yo, open the business, get out your feelings and being scared, open the business, right? God say, look, don't go there. Get out your feelings, right? I talked about this yesterday. I said, we always be talking about the tricks of the enemy, right? The enemy will use love, right? That's how good the enemy is. Love make us feel good. Everybody's striving for love. Everybody's striving for love. I don't know one person that say, I don't want nobody to love me. If they are, they hurt. That's an internal hurt. That's a whole different type of hurt. Enemy will use love and get us to do stupid things, right? I ended yesterday by saying, where the grown people at, right? Where my people who pay their own bills, right? Where my people who take care of their household, my grown people. If we can all admit we've done something stupid, my grown people and my young people, we all done something stupid for love. Yes, yes. Who on here ain't never did nothing stupid, right? Out of love. And when I was joking, and I said, man, if you ever did a ride by, you was in love. But how stupid a ride, but y'all know what a ride by? Who don't know what a ride by is? That's a college thing. It might be a grown folks thing. I see some of y'all smiling. Who know what a ride by is? I'm just gonna ride by their house to make sure they there by themselves. I'm just gonna, right? I said this yesterday, fellas, and ladies too. Man, we done spent a whole lot of money on somebody trying to prove how much we love them, right? Right. And then and this will be the end of episode 1. I said, if you ever hear somebody say this phrase, if you love me, ... Trust me, they finna ask you to do something for them. They asking you to give up something. Somebody ever say, if you love me, you'll get me out of jail. If you love me, you'll get me this. If you love me, you'll let me. If you love me, you won't leave, right? If somebody ever say, if you love me, they tugging on your heart, right? If you love this, you will, right? Right? All right, so let's go to episode 2, right? The second reason. So the first reason we are weak is because we get emotional, get out of our feelings. Yes, yes. The second reason, episode 2, that we are weak is because of this I word, idolatry. Second reason we weak, believe it or not, right? When I just said idolatry, people tend to think it's when you worship another God. As soon as I said that, who thought about worshiping another God? That's how you're making that your idol, right? Here's what's deep. Idolatry is when you give anything or anyone more priority, more attention, more devotion, more resources than you give to God. That's idolatry. So when you think of, man, I'm worshiping just my money, and that's you got an idol. Nope. Idolatry is when you give anything, not another God, or not just another God, or anyone. It's gonna hit hard. It might be on your street. Curtis, Demikia, Adrian, Ty, Harvey, might be on your street. If you give anything, Melanie, if you give anyone more priority more attention. Think about some of this stuff when you hear this word, more devotion, more resources than you give to God. So guess what? My title people call me doctor this, call me apostle, call me bishop, call me. Your title might be your idol. You got an idol problem. Your job, Marcus, workaholic people, can't even take a day out. Your job might be you got an idol problem. There's some people at the end of the year got vacation time piled up because you won't take a day off. Time that the company done paid for, you won't even take. Let me get off of my street. Guess what? Here's what's scary. What my people who got kids, they love to death. I got 2 hands up. Your kids, you might have an idol problem. You might do anything to make sure your kids got what they need. I mean, anything. They can go to the best school. They got the latest Jordans. They got this. They got, and a lot of our problem as parents is we want our kids, yes, to have a better life than we had. I'm guilty. George, you feel me? Anybody on here want their kids to have a better life than they had growing up? Show a yes. Anything as far as not a single parent home. I'm talking about, let me say it again, so we don't make an excuse. Idolatry is when you give anything or anyone more priority than God, more attention than God. I ain't say give them attention. I said more. So when you want to give your kids any and everything because you're a single parent, give God more than that. It's cool if you give them everything they want. Give God more. Guess what, Mark? In my workoutaholics, the gym might be your idol. Some of us will get up at 4 in the morning faithfully to go get our workout on, our run on, boom, 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 make sure we, Oh, but as soon as it's time to pick up the word, get this about quick 10 minutes and get it in. Let me get this quick 40-minute Zoom in. You might have an idol problem. Social media might be an idol problem. Me and my barber, and I was just telling Ty this morning, yo, this weekend, we're going out of town. I'm not only logging off, I'm deleting the apps so that I don't even see them. If I feel that craved up where I got to go hit IG, I got to go re-download that mug. I might have an idol problem. Last one. Don't defend Jesus, just call his name and cover yourself in the blood of life. Okay. Last one, relationships. This one hurts. This one hurts because we know that love word. When you start giving your relationship more priority than you give God, you got an idol problem. More attention. My date night people might make sure I'm fly for my girl, for my guy, look good. More resources. When you start pouring into her more than you pouring into God, right? Some people, and this, I'm not doing it right now. I could say, hey, y'all, let's pass the digital collection plate around right now on this Zoom because we getting this word of God. And some people be like, I ain't got it, bro. But let that girl say, yo, I need to get my nails, right? Let you say, yo, I need to make sure my man got more than you give to God. I ain't saying competing. I'm saying more, right? You might have an idol problem. Here, Samson, how did I word this? He got an intro when he woke up with his head shaved and thought, oh, I'm just going to use the strength that God gave me and shake this off and kill the Philistines. I think that was verse 20. Adrian, drop it back on there. She woke him up after she shaved his head and said, the Philistines out there, they about to get you again. He said, man, verse 20, I'll go out as before, as I did the last 3 times, shake myself free. But he did not know the Lord had left him. JB, you said it yesterday. That's a scary place to be. That boy was desiring her so much, right, that he did not even realize he was giving her more attention than God and the Lord had left him. Didn't even know. Some of us in our life, if you desire something more than God, you no longer have discernment. If you want something more than God, you ain't got discernment, and it'll take you either way you want to go. Right? Let's just get to this money. I'll do whatever for money. That's when you get yourself caught up in a situation to where y'all, not y'all, but you might know somebody who will do anything for money, good or bad. You can't even discern what's bad anymore. That's what Samson was dealing with, right? Right. I wrote it like this. Sometimes you hear people say, I can't hear God, or God ain't speaking, or God, where you at? Might be one of us. Y'all ever said that? Right? He's clearly there, but you got to desire, you got to have a desire for God more than you have anything else. You got to make it your priority because he's always there, right? I use an example of when people say they can't hear God, it's because you're not desiring God, right? Some of my prayers be like, man, in a given 24 hours, I want to have God talk more. What up, Hill? I want to have God talk more in my day than I'm gonna have in anything else, right? I love sports, and I might wake up and I might watch ESPN, I might watch First Take, and I might listen to Colin Cowherd, and I might come home tonight and I watch the game. But sports has consumed my day, and my prayer will be, God, I desire to have more you somewhere, somehow in my day. So we'll have 40 minutes on the Zoom, and then I might listen to some worship, and then I might get around somebody. We might mess around and end up talking about the Bible like me and JB did last night. Hillary, we had that meeting and we ended up talking about God, right? It's just crazy, right? Right? So think about this. Here's a good analogy. Y'all been seeing me post the Cybertruck because I want one. Now every time I open the gram, I see that's algorithm thing. But y'all ever wanted a car and next thing you know, all you do is see that car? That's because you're desiring it more, right? Right? When you want God, all of a sudden, when you desire God like that, all of a sudden you start hearing signs, you start seeing signs and hearing things and conversations, and people walk up to you and be like, man, the Lord just told me to tell you. You'd be like, huh? Yes, yes, right? Some of us, well, let me say it like this first. You'll find God more when you searching for him, right? You'll find God more when you searching for him. So my people that's looking for the blessing, I just want God to bless me. Yo, you got to be looking for God. He out here, he ain't hiding. He ain't playing some kind of hide and go seek game, right? And I put this, some of us, it'd be so, if we seek, we'll find him. Thank you, right? Some of us will be so filled with our Delilah, and I'm not talking about a chick, right? For some of us, I am talking about a chick, right? But some of us will be so consumed with our Delilah, right? We got no desire for God. Whatever your weakness is, we so consumed with it, right? I can't log off. I can't put the bottle down. I'm so full with this Delilah in my life. I got no desire, or I got little time for God. That's basically verse 20, right? How much God you got in your life is only set by how much you desire him, right? Like I just said, God is not playing hide and go seek with his blessings for you, with his purpose for you. He ain't saying, hey, voila, I'm over here today. Poof, I'm over here today, right? He ain't saying that. He's saying, man, I'm right here. You just got to come. Matthew, what you say, Hillary? 7:7, right? You drop this in the chat. You just got to want it, right? You want that car, you start seeing it all the time. You want God in your life, you just got to start being around God's stuff, and you're going to get a lot of God, right? I wrote this. When you, or if you, ever go to God and ask him this simple question, we all say, God, I just want what you got for me. We say stuff like that. God, fill my cup, right? God, I want my cup overflowing. Yes, yes. You ever said that? Y'all ever use the church term, overflowing of the cup? You got to actually show up with an empty cup. This part stuck to me yesterday when I was doing this episode too. We want God to pour into us. God, I don't want what you got for JB and Ignacio. I just want what you got for me. Right? Y'all ever said that? We got to pull up with an empty cup. God, pour into my cup. The cup got to be empty. Right? You can't go pulling up on God with a little bit of what I saw Curtis doing and a little bit of what Ignacio doing. I got a little bit of mess myself that got me here in the first place. Thank you, JB. Make room. And then I said, God, pour into this. God, like, man, I'm not pouring what I got for you into this dirty cup. Right? You know, I was thinking, I said, man, y'all ever been to a good buffet? I ain't talking about the one with a fly flying around. I ain't talking about them, right? Y'all go to a good buffet at the front of the line, what they got? A pile of what? Clean plates. Every time you go up, it's only ethical that you get rid of the plate that all the food, all the God that you want. Oh, I'm preaching. I'm about to start clapping, JB. I'm preaching. All the God that you want is right here, right? Right? Get you a little bit, go sit down and eat. Yes, yes. And when you done, go get some more. But this time, leave that dirty plate over there, because God don't want you pulling up and saying, man, look, put some more mashed potatoes on top of this right here. That's dirty. God like, man, what do you say? Clean on the outside, filthy on the inside. What's in the cup? I love it. Right? You go to a good buffet, they say, man, look, it's unethical for you to, man, you just had pizza. You got leftover wing bones on this plate. Throw this plate away, come get another plate, get a whole nother portion. Right? So for us, that's asking, God, I just want what you got for me. It's a whole buffet of it. God saying, cool, come with an empty cup, my boy. Don't come in here with the mess you already got on the plate. Some of us got mess in our life. Real talk, off my notes. Some of us got stuff going on in our life, and we like, God, where you at? God, can you come bless this? God, like, I can send you what you need. This gotta go. Right? I want to hear that, JB. Maybe after episode 4 of this was week, can you do that? What's in the cup? God don't bless no mess. I like that, right? Go to God with an empty heart, right? Or like you just said, a clean heart, right? Don't be asking God to mix up the blessings that he got for you with the stuff that got you on your knees crying and asking him to fix right now. Y'all get rid of it. God, I want this great relationship. I can't go into this new relationship with the blueprint, the operation playbook that I went with this last one that got me here. Right? Right? For my players out here, I'm just going to keep playing the game until I find the one I got. You're going to have to stop the game. You're going to have to. This playbook don't work for the one that you're trying to be 1,000 with. Yes, yes? Right? Yo, I just want the raise and the promotion on my job that I think I deserve, God, because you know this is my calling. But God, like, look, you got to quit cutting corners and showing up late and leaving early. You got to quit. I can't do it for you if you can't do it for you. Yes, yes or no? In episode 2, go with a clean plate. What's in the cup? I love that, JB. We can end episode 2, roll the credits right there. What's in your cup? Right? Oh, yeah. Cousin JB. Last night I was talking, I was just going to do episode 1 and 2, but I kept on reading. If y'all want to binge watch this thing about Samson and Delilah, this episode is an amazing episode. I told y'all it starts very wild, right? There's 2 more episodes in this thing. I told Ty yesterday, don't tell the end. Go make them binge watch that thing. And you can binge watch that thing, but just without going through the book of Judges, right? But like I said, Judges 16, verses 15 through 22 is the same scripture today as it was yesterday. But those were the 2 points. 1, we weak because we in our feelings. 2, we weak because we have idols. Oh, I got 2 more things why we weak, and I'm not going to tell you. Those are episodes 3 and 4. All right, microphone's open. Microphone's open. I finished even earlier. I can't believe that. Anybody got a weakness they want to talk about? Yes, yes. Oh, no, y'all cool. I'm sorry. I told You did your job interview. I told you yesterday on social media. Go ahead and tell a story.
Marcus, Monday we won't be able to do the Zoom, so you forgot we're traveling back.
Oh, we're traveling on Monday.
Yeah. So you won't be able to do the Zoom Monday.
JB will be here. Oh, JB, you said all I got to do is give you a few days.
I'm traveling back, and I guess I started off in the week because I got something that God's been pouring into me and how to love God.
All right, well, got it Monday, how to love God. I'll be back on Tuesday and Wednesday with episodes 3 and 4. Is Yaku still on here? You cool? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead, man. You got a testimony. Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna make a long story short, y'all. I'm delivering mail, but I'm gonna make a long story short. I want to say first of all how this Zoom has reignited my faith and my relationship with God. So long story short, I've been on my job for roughly 11 going on 12 years, but it's been a somewhat rocky road on the job. It's not a bad job, but it's just certain people on the job that throw darts or throw rocks and hide their hands. And I'm not the person to be involved with that because I like to fight. So I had started listening to the Zoom, right? So the first Zoom I caught, I think it was.
Wait. I'm looking at everybody laughing. Boy, did you just say you like to fight?
Yes, I like to fight. Hey, as a child, I'm only 5. I'm 5'7", so I'm short. And all my cousins was bigger than me coming up as a child, but I was strong. So they would always pick on me being the littlest one because they thought I was weak, and I was, I was raised by my grandmother, so they kind of had a little jealousy about that because I was always her favorite because of my situation that happened with my parents. So they didn't like that. So they would beat me up and pick on me. And I developed, it's just like a little chihuahua that you always messing with. And he just say, hey, I'm not taking this. So
just say this and get back to your story. I'm from Louisiana. All Louisiana people like to fight. Anyway, all right, keep going with your story. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so I was on the Zoom. I think the first one I caught was the faith, the one about faith and everything. And I was like, Lord, I really have to get out of this job before something happens. So I caught the faith one, and then a friend of mine called me. She said, hey, they got a job at HCC that you will be perfect for. You got the experience. You just have to apply for the job. I was like, yeah, whatever. I've been on this job all this time. I'm not looking at 50 years old. I'm not looking to go and start over nowhere. So I just brushed it off, and I caught the next Zoom. I don't remember exactly what it was. And she called me again. She said, hey, the job closed tonight at 12 o'clock. Are you going to apply? And I say, whatever. So I got home that evening, and me and my wife have a business. So I had to help her with the business and do everything like that. So I find myself being tired and was like, I'm going to bed. But some say, hey, you got to apply for that job. So I went in, and thank God I had to apply for another job at that place that I didn't get. That's a whole nother story I'll share with y'all later. So I ended up applying for the job. I finished the application like 11:30, 11:45, and thank God I had already had a profile in there. So I just had to switch over to this particular job. So it was easy. So I did that, and I just forgot it. But during the Zooms, my faith is getting bold. I'm loving everything that's going on with the Zoom. So I called. I said, hey man, I ain't got no call, no interview. What's going on? She say, oh, sometimes it take a while. I said, okay. So come Wednesday, this past Wednesday, after the Zoom, they call me and say, hey, we got an interview. We want to bring you in for an interview. So I did. I said, okay, thank you. So he said, hey, I'm going to send you an email Thursday with all the details. Okay, so Thursday roll around. I didn't get an interview. I didn't get nothing. So I called my friend and said, hey, should I call them? I said, I just don't worry about it. They going to send it. She said, no, just call them. So I call them, and when I called, he answered the phone. He said, "Hey, Yaku, I'm sending you the email right now." He said, "I apologize for that." I said, "No, it's all good. No worries." He said, but I'm gonna bring you in on a Friday." He said, "No, I'm gonna bring you in on a Monday, which was the 6th." So I said, "Okay, thank you." I get the email and I'm excited. Friday come, go to work and everything, and I'm cool. Saturday, my son called me and said, "Hey, Dad, my stuff is packed. Can you and Mom come and get some of my stuff?" So the
Boy,
move was as
go
difficult.
to your point. To your
Okay,
point.
so yeah, my son, I'm sorry. Yeah, so he called and I said, "Okay," he go to PV. So we go Saturday evening and get his stuff. Mind you, my wife had been sick all week, and I didn't think nothing of it because I'm like, I ain't got, God got me. I ain't catching no cold, this, that, and the third. So Saturday night, I'm watching the boxing, and my throat just started feeling a little scratchy. I said, "Okay, God, what's going on?" So I took my little herbs and little vitamins, and I go to sleep. Sunday morning, y'all, I woke up, and all I could move was my eyes. I was like, "Oh God, what's going on?" I woke my wife. I said, "Babe, I can't. I'm sore. I cannot move. I'm achy. I'm clammy." This
Yaku,
was, yes, sir.
Yaku,
Uh-huh.
you got the flu. All right, get to the story.
Okay. Yeah, I got the flu. I'm sorry. I'm descriptive. Okay, so I had a flu. So I called my friend Monday morning. I said, "Hey, I'm sick." She said, "Well, to postpone the interview if you're not going." I said, "No, I got to go." Y'all, so it took everything in my body for me to get up and go to this interview. Every step was pain. So I get in there and I get to the interview and I get in the office, and y'all, it's hot as Hades in the office. I get through the interview. It was a good interview, but I said all that to say it was because of these Zooms that I had the courage to stand on God and stand on his word to go and do that interview. I could have very well called him and said, "Hey, I need to postpone," but I didn't know they would look at that like, "Hey, nah, he might not be the candidate for us." So I suffered through that. And it was, again, because of these morning Zooms that I was able to thank God and be encouraged to go to that interview. He said he'll let me know something in the week. So y'all send a prayer for me for this job. But I also said through that, God, if I don't get it, I'm still standing on your word and your faith. So that's it. I know that was a lot, but I just want to thank y'all.
Boy, I hate for you to give us the long version. You see, I'm gonna give you the short story. Go ahead, JB.
Yeah.
Go ahead, JB.
Hey, real quick, man. I come on, focus up, bro. I appreciate that, man. I stand on God instead of stand on business. Anyway, so you talked about, you asked me about the cup thing. So on my Not Too Preachy on Facebook, I go live on Tuesdays. I did a 4-part series on what's in the cup. So I'm gonna drop the link in there in the chat, and I don't know if you should be able to go to it, but hopefully if I have a slow day today, I can start uploading them on my Not Too Preachy page on YouTube. But I did a 4-part series, man. So to redo it is kind of tough. I'd rather just go in and check out the videos. But if you go look at the videos, the live videos on Facebook, just fast forward like the first 3 minutes, because it's just me letting people into the live. And then you can check out the series What's in the Cup. So it's 4 cups I dealt with, man. So I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop my link in the chat, man. If y'all go in and check it out, cool, leave a comment, man.
Is it possible one of these days that we just, like, if we do the Zoom and you share, play the video and share the screen, we could just watch it live?
I guess I could, yeah.
We probably could. That might be cool. One of these weeks is the 4-part series. We take a whole week and do What's in Cup and just watch them joints together. See, like if I just share my screen and hit play, that would probably be dope. That would probably be dope. But is that the link right
on
there?
you? Yeah, that's the link right there. But I mean,